And on this video, we're taking a look at Rydeen's hybrid backup monitor M7000 AHD. It supports two channels, so you can run a front camera as well as a rear camera, and it has support for parking assist reverse guidelines. But what's pretty interesting is that while it is equipped with the standard 4-pin commercial camera connector, it also supports CVBS cameras. So first, I'll show you the contents of the kit, then we'll take a look at the monitor performance both at day and at night so we can get an idea of the image quality, and then I'll cover the mounting options available for it. And I place a link in the description down below to this system if you'd like to get one for yourself. Starting off with the monitor is 7 inches in size and features an anti-glare coating. And if you needed more glare reduction, they also included this removable sunshade. We also get two mounting types, and I'll show you what those look like in a little bit, as well as two adapters for cameras that have an RCA type input, as well as a remote control and mounting hardware. And since this is a hybrid monitor, it can accept a couple different cameras. For this review, I'm going to be using the Rydeen CM AHD 1000 cameras, which feature night vision as well as waterproof metal casing, along with two of their extensions, EXT01. And that's how fast the system turns on. Now, right now we are shown the front of the vehicle, and we can see the edge of the vehicle too, and as well as the road. And let's go ahead and move forward so you can see how the video quality looks. And you can actually see quite a bit of detail, especially notice the detail on that pavement. So definitely high resolution imagery. So let's switch over to the rear camera. I'm gonna tap the channel button, and here is the rear camera. And I wanna show you how it looks like when you are backing up. Again, you see the detail on the pavement, but also I wanna show you here how you can use this system to help you basically park and not hit anything. Look how close I can get to a particular vehicle. I can see where the end of my vehicle is and the particular object that I'm trying to avoid. So this gives me a really clear view. And we are back to the front camera, and I have enabled parking assist. Let's see what happens when I put the vehicle on reverse. The view switches over to the rear view, and also we get reverse guidelines, which are helpful as far as being able to let you gauge the distance between objects. And also notice that I aimed the camera a little bit higher this time to see more of the road and be able to use the reversing guidelines. And as you can see, they allow me to get pretty close to an object, and also allow you to eventually decide how close you want to an object. Perhaps you only want to approach an object and have a certain distance here. You can remember, well, this is how far I want to go. Or if you want to give yourself more distance, remember that the yellow part is the further that you want to go. And if you prefer to have a ton of distance, always remember that you will want to stay in the green. It's just a matter of preference. And if you like that automatic view change, how we go from the front camera to the rear camera when you put the vehicle on reverse, but you don't want reverse guidelines, they can be disabled. Notice again how that view changed automatically, but now without reverse guidelines. Now you can still, again, back up and get a sense of the distance between you and an object. It's a little bit harder without the reverse guidelines, and normally when you don't have reverse guidelines, the best, in my opinion, installation or angle of the camera is aim lower so you can see the end of your vehicle. That way you can gauge how close you are to an object. And same thing for the front camera, it is normally aimed lower so you can see where the vehicle ends. In this case, I raised it up just so you can see the video quality if you wanted to see more of the road, as opposed to seeing the end of your vehicle. Now, it is very likely that you'll be able to reach these buttons if the display is installed close to you, but if it's not installed close to you, that is where using the remote is gonna help a lot. It's just so convenient to be able to control the system remotely.
Also interesting is the system supports sound. Now, the sound is not the clearest, but it is definitely, you can definitely understand what the person is saying, especially if they're trying to give you directions as far as how close you can get to an object.
Brightness can also be adjusted with the either up or the down arrow. Right now we're at 50%. You can lower that or increase that. I find 50 to be just about right. But let's go ahead and take a look inside of menus so I can show you the customization. And I'm gonna use the remote so my hand is not in the way. Now, the very first option is gonna be whether you want the reversing guideline to be enabled or disable. The other option that you have is control of the display orientation. So notice how I'm able to change that, in this case upside down, and I can also mirror the image. This can help for how the monitor is positioned or installed in the car, allowing you to correct the image of it. Then we also have zoom. And all this does is changes whether you want a 4:3 aspect ratio, which notice is a square, or whether you want a full screen view, which is the 16:9. Then we have language options, and there are several of the languages actually included in here if you wanted to change it from the default one. And then you have volume control. Now this is what you will want to turn up if you're looking to use the audio function of the system, where you can hear the people either from the front camera or the rear camera, or you can just turn the volume all the way down if you don't plan to use the audio function of this backup system. The system also seems to remember the last view it was left on. This is the front view, and if I turn the system off and then I come back and I turn the system on again, notice that we are gonna be presented with the front view again. Same thing for the rear camera. If I wanna have this displayed all the time, when I turn off the system is gonna remember that that is the last view I had it on. So when I turn the system back on again, it's gonna show me that rear view. And we're looking at the rear camera. The street is somewhat dark. There is some light available, but we're mainly using the night vision system that's built in onto the cameras. And we'll see when this car passes around so you can kind of see the difference in darkness and light. And also you'll notice that when I step on the brake, the rear reversing lights come on, and that obviously is to help you back up. So let's go ahead, and first I'm gonna move forward so you'll see those lights turn off. There we go. And you can see what that performance of the camera looks like at night with no additional help from the reversing lights, just strictly the night vision and whatever is available in the street. And here's what it looks like at night with the reversing guidelines. Pretty much the image doesn't change. The only thing we get is those reversing guidelines. Now, they do help, in my opinion, for cases where you are doing very slow backing up. You're able to really almost kind of fine tune as you are backing up and maintaining a certain distance. In this particular case, I'm maintaining a certain distance from the sidewalk. And here is the front channel. Now, this is the same camera type, so the performance is gonna be identical to the rear. However, because we are looking at the front, you can see a lot more contrast. You see the area where the headlights of the vehicle are illuminating the road and the areas that are not being illuminated by the headlights. We're also seeing a couple of cars passing by, and that is because I have the camera aimed a little bit higher so we can see more of the road and just cars passing by so we can see how the camera performs. And now I aim the front camera lower, and this is probably what most applications are gonna look like, where the camera is being used for slowly approaching an object, in this particular case an object in front of me, basically allowing you to see that you are not gonna hit something with the front of the vehicle. Similar to the rear camera, sometimes it is not really used to see the road behind you, it is to see the end of your vehicle as you move and approach objects, making sure that you are not gonna hit them with your vehicle. And this system also allows me to combine the CM AHD 1000 cameras with this, a CVBS camera. This is the CM APL5 camera, and the resolution is lower, but notice these reverse guidelines. They are not normal reverse guidelines. They are active reverse guidelines, meaning that they're able to turn when I turn the vehicle, and that is a lot more helpful than static guidelines. Stay tuned for the full review on this system. I think you'll find it quite useful for you to be able to combine the CVBS camera with an AHD camera. And for mounting options, they have included this base and 3M adhesive tape that gets applied right here. The backing gets peeled off, and then the monitor can be attached to the vehicle's dash. Now, the base does have a little bit of thinness, and the reason why that thinness is there is so this can bend a little in case the dash has a slight curvature like this vehicle does, then the base can conform to the dash shape. And if you wanted a more permanent installation, they have also included 4 screws, and the base does have the holes to accept the screws in case you wanted to bolt this down to the dash of the vehicle. And this mount also allows you to adjust the height of the monitor. Notice how I can bring it down or I can bring it up, and there is also tilt adjustment. You can see that I'm able to move this back, and then the position can be locked in place. And this mounting bracket also allows for this to be mounted against surfaces that are around a 45-degree angle. It will look something like this, and then you can adjust the tilt as needed. And the second mount that's included is this U-shaped bracket that allows this again to be bolted to the vehicle, typically allowing this to turn in either direction, and also there is tilt adjustment with these locking knobs on the side. And the bracket is also reversible, so instead of the monitor being bolted down to the vehicle, the monitor could be bolted up to the vehicle, again allowing it to turn in either direction and also tilt adjustment. And the parking assist function, which is when the view automatically switches from the front camera to the rear camera when the vehicle is placed on reverse, that is activating by connecting this green wire that has been labeled reverse. And I have made a video showing how that connection is made. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. And for power, there are only two connections that have to be made. There is a black wire that's going to go to ground, and there is a red wire that is going to go to power. Now this system does support 12-volt vehicle systems as well as 24-volt vehicle systems if you're driving something more of a heavy-duty vehicle. I'm also going to put links in the description to this monitor system as well as to the cameras that you saw me use on the video. They are available in either white or in a black housing, including a link to that special backup camera with active reverse guidelines. Stay tuned for that review. That is a pretty interesting product. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.